Hello and welcome back to the Yorkshire Food Guide channel with me, James Sturdy. So far on this channel we've created a lot of meat focused content. We've looked at various different types of farming practices and how the meat gets from the field to your plate in a sustainable grass-fed manner. And what I've learned is that whilst there are better ways and more sustainable ways of producing our meat, the simple fact is we all need to consume less of it. So we've decided to create some content that aims to educate and inspire people about how they can reduce the meat consumption but still make nutritious, delicious meals. So over the course of a week, we'll be creating 3 vegan-inspired meals to look at options for meat-free meals for breakfast, lunch and dinner. In these films, I'm going to be assisted by vegan influencer Chloe Wright, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below about our recipes. And if you're inspired to make your own versions, then we'd love to see some pictures of your creations too. So the Yorkshire Food Guide channel is all about sharing the stories of our food systems. So if you're interested to learn more about your food and where it comes from, then please subscribe to the channel. And we look forward to you joining us again next time. So with around half of us looking to reduce consumption of animal products in our diets, one common question is, how do I produce delicious, nutritious food without using meat or dairy? So I'm James, the Yorkshire Food Guy, and I'm joined today by Chloe Wright, who's a vegan brand marketing expert and all-round plant-based guru. And today she's going to be taking me on a plant-based adventure. So Chloe, I'm really looking forward to what we're going to be doing today. So tell me about what you're going to be cooking.
So for breakfast, we're going to be having scrambled tofu with a sourdough toasted muffin and some cherry tomatoes on the side. I was just saying to James before that tofu is a bit of an acquired taste, I think, and a lot of people have tried tofu and thought it's not that nice. But you ask any vegan and we would always say that tofu needs to just be seasoned and cooked right. So I'm going to try and do that for you today.
Brilliant. So it's like a lot of kind of plant-based food. It's all about the seasonings, the
Absolutely.
spices, herbs.
Yeah. So we've got plenty of those that we're going to be using today, and hopefully you'll like it.
So one thing I spotted about this, it's not just tofu, is it?
No, it's
Yorkshire tofu.
Yeah, which I didn't know actually, but yeah, I eat this all the time, and it's made here in Yorkshire.
Yeah. So I didn't know that we were flying the flag for plant-based food like that.
We've got a few things today that are from Yorkshire. So
fantastic. Right, looking forward to it.
Cool. Wash your hands before you do this, and then we crumble the tofu. So it's kind of like creating something that's a little bit like a scrambled egg. Obviously tofu is different to egg, but it gives like a similar sort of experience, if you like, when you're eating it. And you can sort of flavour this however you want. A lot of people like to add extra things to their scramble, like vegetables and stuff. I'm just going to add some tomatoes on the side.
I bet there's all sorts you could put in there, isn't it? Little spring onions and little flavours.
Yeah.
Bit of chilli maybe.
Yeah. Some people like to mix mushrooms with it, pepper, all sorts of things. So yeah, we scramble it like that. Crumble it up like that. And then I'm just going to wash my hands.
And how much do we want to colour this thing, Chloe?
Well, the tofu won't itself, like this, it won't get that much colour. But in a moment, when we add our seasoning, it will. So if you just grab some pepper, some black pepper, pop that all over it.
So I think one of the kind of common challenges that people with eating plant-based food is protein, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think a lot of people think that, but actually, where do you think the animals get their protein from? Do you know where they get their protein from?
You're going to tell me plants?
I am going to tell you plants, yeah. So I guess with veganism, you're just kind of getting the protein directly from the source. So yeah, this is actually quite high in protein anyway, this breakfast we're having.
Yeah, so I had a look on the packet actually, it's about 15 grams of protein per 100, so it's pretty up there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a good one if you want to get your protein in. Obviously other things like lentils, beans, legumes, anything like that sort of thing is good.
So I'm glad to see that. I absolutely love smoked paprika.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you use a lot of it in
I do
cooking?
actually. It's probably the main thing, sort of spice that I use. There isn't kind of like a strict amount that you need to put into this, but I just give it like a bit of a sprinkle all over.
Yeah.
Like that.
You know, I think cooking as well, so much of it is about feel, isn't it?
Yeah.
And sometimes I think when people are a bit too fixated on a recipe, I think you learn to cook better when you do it your way.
Yeah.
You just sort of add it, taste it as you go.
Yeah. And I've made this a lot, and do you know what? I actually like to make this with like a vegan full English as well. And I made it for my friends who eat meat the other week, and they really liked it. So yeah, we're just popping some turmeric in as well.
Yeah, that's another very, very healthy ingredient, isn't it? That's a great start to the day.
Yeah.
So I'm quite hungry now, actually. I've not had any breakfast this
Oh,
morning,
good.
so I'm looking forward to this.
Would you mind actually, James, just chopping a couple of cherry tomatoes for me?
Mm-hmm.
I would
Just
say
in
maybe,
half?
Yeah, just in half. Just a handful would be fine. Now this ingredient is probably going to be a bit of a surprise to some people, but we do put a little bit of mustard powder in this. And if I had remembered to bring it, I would have also put some nutritional yeast in it, which is really, really good for you. I guess a lot of vegans use it, or a lot of people who eat plant-based diets use it as a cheese replacement. So it gives like a bit of a cheesy flavour. Just a little sprinkle of this, not too much.
Do you like these into halves, Chloe, or quarters?
Just halves would be good, James, thank you. I'm just going to put a sprinkle of parsley through this as well. Another one of my favourite herbs that I use in most of my cooking.
So you can really smell all those spices toasting in the pan now, can't you?
Yeah, definitely. It smells good, doesn't it? So I know you said you've had tofu before. Was it seasoned kind of as much as this when you had it?
Well, I probably didn't cook it properly, Chloe. So yeah,
Okay.
so when I had it, I don't think I kind of did it justice really, because it's quite a flavourless thing on its own, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it definitely
So
is.
but it's like a blank canvas for flavour, really, isn't it? By the look of it.
For sure.
Yeah. So I think we did a Thai curry with it, but I probably didn't flavour it enough.
Yeah, you really do have to season tofu quite a bit. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of olive oil on this side of the pan.
Especially now I know that we make tofu in Yorkshire.
Yeah.
I think I'll be eating more of it.
The last thing to do is just to toast that sourdough muffin actually, if you wouldn't mind, Jane. Thank you.
Chloe, can I ask a little bit more about what you do then? So you work with a lot of vegan brands, don't you, plant-based companies?
Yeah, vegan and vegan friendly. But I would say 90% of my clients are vegan, fully vegan brands.
Yeah.
And I basically just help them mainly with their Instagram marketing and their influencer marketing. So I help them to connect with people of influence in the vegan space to get their products or their restaurant or whatever it is out there, basically. So yeah, it's really fun. I really enjoy it, and I get to eat in lots of really nice vegan restaurants too. So that's a nice
Massive
bonus.
perk of the job.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's everything from what, restaurants, food manufacturers?
Yeah, restaurants, food manufacturers. I've just started working with a vegan hair salon. So that means that all their products that they use in the hair salon are vegan. So that's really great, because a lot of veganism isn't just about food and diet, it's also about the other products that you're using.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And how long have you been vegan?
So I've actually been vegan for about 4 years, although it feels like forever because I've been veggie since I was 4 years old and I'm nearly 26 now. And the only reason that I wasn't vegan before that was just I wasn't really educated on things about in the dairy industry and stuff. So Yeah, I've not eaten meat basically my whole life, meat or fish. And then I cut dairy kind of when I was at uni. And then after uni as well. So yeah, it's kind of been my whole life that I've cared about this cause, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not alone by any means, are you? There's what, 600,000 odd people now vegan in the UK?
Yeah, it's growing exponentially as well. I mean, not everyone who eats the vegan diet is vegan. A lot of people are plant-based. So that is just about the diet, whereas veganism is more of a lifestyle where you're committed to kind of the animal sort of side of things and the ethical side of things, whereas plant-based usually is more of a diet, just because people prefer to cut meat and dairy out.
So there's various different reasons why people might reduce or cut out meat and dairy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it really does look like scrambled egg, that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does have sort of similar appearance, for sure. Probably that's enough for one portion, I would say.
That looks like definitely enough for one portion.
Yeah. So I'm going to add a little bit more parsley just on the top of the tomato all over.
So a little bit of garnish.
Yeah. And then might pop a little bit of pepper on it as well. So I usually like this actually with baked beans as well because it adds a little bit more moisture to the tofu. But yeah, that's it. So what today.
So what have we got here then?
So we've got smoked tofu scrambled with cherry tomatoes and a sourdough muffin.
Right, I think it's time to dig in, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd be very interested to see what you think.
So immediately, I think it looks great. You've got the vibrant coloured tomatoes. Yeah, that's the tofu's like unrecognisable from when we started, isn't it? With all the spices.
Yeah.
So I think it looks fabulous.
So probably get a bit of tomato with it as well if you can. See what you think. Really?
So it's the spices that make it, isn't it? The smoked paprika, which I think if I could keep one ingredient in my spice rack, it would be smoked paprika.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It just takes on a whole new level of flavour, doesn't it?
Definitely.
You've got the turmeric coming in there, which is super healthy.
Yeah.
You've got, tofu, lovely spice around it, lovely fresh cherry tomatoes.
Yeah.
A little bit of texturing with the bread. I think that's great. It's a winner.
Yes, I'm glad you like it.
High five.
Thanks.
So there we have a delicious vegan breakfast that we hope inspires you to try something new. So in the next film, we'll be making a delicious, fresh, vibrant lunch recipe. So please make sure you join us, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're alerted when we release future films. Thanks for joining us. See you again next time.
Do you know what I mean about beans adding a bit of moisture to it?
Definitely, yeah.
Beans
Celtic beans, yeah.
Beans do go really well with it as well. I just didn't want to fill us up because we've got quite a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to have to be a bit conscious of that. We've got a lot of food to eat, yeah.